Hey, what's up everybody? How's it going? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. And also, if you're new to the channel, if you could do me a huge favor and just slap that like button, I'd appreciate it. So for today, we got this new movie that came out and it's called The Art of Self-Defense. And I'm gonna forewarn you guys that despite my review, this movie is really not gonna be for everybody. This is a very specific kind of movie. However, I knew that I wanted to see this movie a long time ago because when I saw the trailer, and I don't even remember how or where I saw the trailer to be honest, but as I was watching the trailer and after it was over, I just thought to myself, that movie looks weird as fuck. So of course I have to go out and see it. Because why else would I have this channel if not to go out and watch a bunch of weird shit and then tell you guys about it later? And the plot of this movie, it's pretty simple. It's basically Jesse Eisenberg plays this guy who's very lonely, he's awkward, he really doesn't know how to handle himself in a lot of situations. All of a sudden one night he gets mugged while he's out for a walk and then he decides to take some self-defense classes. So he finds a place nearby, he sits in, he gets into it, and then you kind of see how that shapes and warps his life kind of going forward. And I'm not even gonna bury the lead for you guys. I unabashedly fucking love this movie. But as I said, it's definitely not for everyone. The director for this movie had a very particular, very succinct view for the movie that he wanted to make. If any of you have ever seen the movie The Lobster, I would say it's not like that movie when it comes to the story, but as far as the tone and the pacing, it's pretty freaking close, because like a lot of people talk fairly slowly and the pace is like very drawn out, but it has a lot of those same sensibilities and a lot of the similar humor. And the main character, he doesn't seem very relatable because he's just kind of like this beta male little baby, but at the same token, you feel a lot of sympathy for him. You're just like, poor guy. Because it feels like the character is just this pleasant guy who just wants to, you know, relax with his dog and hang out, you know. But it is very slow going. I have to say the first half hour to 45 minutes, the shtick of how awkward everything was, it did start to get a little old and a little bit pretentious. Because the movie is very much of its own world, where it tries to like suck you into the way people talk, and it's very different from how you would talk in a normal conversation. Say, for example, there's a situation where a character is very overwhelmed. This is exactly how they would talk, but they would comment on the fact that they were overwhelmed. Mainly because this is the tone of the entire film. But the good news is that kind of awkward deadpan type of delivery of lines, it actually allowed for a lot of comedic moments to happen that I personally enjoyed. But just at the exact right time in the movie, something happens that comes way the fuck out of left field and changed the entire tone of the movie. And when I say that, that's not even giving anything away. Like, it's not even really a plot twist necessarily. It's just something that's very short and sweet and really unpredictable that just completely just destroys whatever tone you thought you were gonna see for the rest of the movie. And it is from that point on that we're kind of off to the races. The movie does maintain its awkward, kind of quirky sensibilities for the rest of the movie, but the amount of things that are crucial that happen to the plot happened way more frequently from that point forward. And I loved where this movie went. And from that kind of anchor point towards the end of the movie, the dialogue felt so much better for some reason. And I think it's because there was a lot of like nuanced callbacks to earlier stuff that ended up being set up so perfectly well to the point where there were jokes that landed so hard later in the movie. Or at least for me and everybody that was in the theater that I saw it in. And this movie handles masculinity in just such a goofy, weird way that you can oddly connect to for some reason. I can't even put my finger on it. And this movie did a wonderful job at showing you how when somebody's like lonely or isolated and they start to latch onto something, at some point or another, they may or may not get consumed by that little thing to the point where they depend on it. And not that these two movies are anything alike, but this movie and Fight Club, for some reason, I felt a lot of philosophical things that were in common. Just from the standpoint of like understanding your insecurities and overcoming them, and you're coming up with your own personal way to overcome those things. And I liked that this movie had almost no music, but there was a very big reference to metal music, and you know, I'm that kind of guy. But I maintain what I said, that this movie is ungodly weird. Like, I have no idea what other people are, how they're gonna react to it. But I personally can say that I don't know if this is the best movie that I've seen all year, but it's definitely my favorite movie that I've seen all year, because this is just, it was such a fresh movie that I didn't expect any of this. And I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't walk out of this movie with a big smile on my face, so this might shock a few people after seeing it. Overall, for a score out of 10, I think I'm gonna give it a 9.6. I don't know if I'd ever wanna watch this movie again, and that's really the only bad thing, is that I'm not gonna ever be able to get to see this movie for the first time ever again. But this movie made me feel things that I never thought I would feel, because it was just so awkward, weird, and just way out of left field that it broke its way through to the other side into being what I consider to be pretty freaking genius. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie? Have you even heard of it? Hop in the comments, let me know what's up. And of course, if you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe, share, do all that other happy horse shit, and I will catch you guys later.